raise.
That was from the state, not from any elected official.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, call meeting order. Okay, with that, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda for September 24th.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carried.
I've read and I'm gonna approve the minutes for September 17th.
I'll second that. Okay, any discussion? Not all in favor? That's means 10, please.
Finally got through all the contractors for the roof, meeting them. I think we got a bunch of them here today. How many we got? Four, well, that's good. I've worked real hard on the emergency services tax list. You want to hand one of them down to Brad? Adam has a copy of this and he's going over it. I haven't heard back from him yet. I thought we're having a meeting Thursday night at 6 o'clock to go over this with the ambulance crew. Easier to say what's not eligible, which is any disposable item or employee payroll at this point. They're going to bring with them, they're directed to bring with them their monthly bills for the last 3 months on what would be included to see if that brings up enough money from where they were at. Well, I did get Wapalos here yesterday and it looks like they're going to be okay. So I can use them as an example. I think Wapello and Wise County are probably pretty close. They should be okay. I just got some rules down here towards the bottom. Large expenditures will need to be presented to the Board of Supervisors for approval prior to purchase. Large expenditures are defined as a one-time cost exceeding $5,000. Kind of took that along with what our limit is as a county. If you just said large expenditures, well, is it 100? Is it 10,000? You know, I'm trying to put a list together so that this can go on for a long time. You won't be here, I won't be here. Whoever can follow along and still implement this after we're no longer in charge. So we'll see. We'll get some feedback from the ambulance services and see what they have to say on Thursday. So
I have a couple questions.
Sure.
On that, if I could. It says ambulances, boats, rescue, first response vehicles, snowmobiles.
that come right from the state.
Okay. And then it says a land associated with land ambulance services. All right. Isn't all of our bases currently on land?
No, Columbus Junction rents theirs. It's a lease. So according to the state, you can purchase land with this fund to put an ambulance service on or a building. So I don't want to keyhole that. So in the future, if Louisa County or whoever wants to move their base, they can still do that.
I didn't realize there was leased land over there. And also too, what if they bought something that was under the 5,000, but it was a payment that was
Payment for,
say it was a monthly payment, it did not exceed the 5,000, but they made a purchase.
it would have to be in this eligible expenditures above to qualify. So if they, let's say they had to put 6 new tires on their ambulance and it come to be $3,000, that would be an eligible expenditure.
But what if they bought something that the payment was? Because it really says large expenditures defined in one-time costs exceeding 5,000. So if they bought it as a monthly payment, I just want to make sure there was no loophole where they could buy something.
I get it. This is good. I need feedback.
Yeah, just something like that. And out on that land, on that, the more I think about it, I just wondered if that's something that we ought to look at purchasing. You know, down the road, get out of that.
I don't know who owns it. I'll have to check into that.
It's.
Somebody told me.
The original board. And
The good part about leasing it though, they're responsible for the furnaces and the roofs and all that stuff, so that isn't a bad thing.
oh, sounds good.
Yeah, well, we'll just keep getting down to the end here, and I know in October is when this is gonna take over, so we're getting close.
Right.
Yeah, that's all I have.
Yes.
I had an email from the categorization about where the budget is at, how much money they got to spend this year. Other than that, nothing.
And community action, I sent that back around to you guys.
Yeah, I got it.
And Sean, I don't know what comes up in October.
There was something on my, and I think Selena was the one that forwarded it to
You have the
mental health or
no, he's been mental health, something about it. She forwarded something, Sean.
Is there,
October 1st, for putting some money on.
Would it be a community action?
much,
No,
It's the December 31st.
there was something October 1st that came up that I said, well, I think Sean needs to be on that.
Hmm.
Gee, thanks.
Yeah, I don't know.
Something with the jail, Melissa Mace. Melissa Mace,
Oh, CIT, Crisis Center.
there you go,
Yeah, that,
Melissa Mace, I remember that name now.
Yeah, that would be a CID stuff.
it's a,
That has to do with the jail, right?
no, it's really to, it's kind of liaison between mental health and the jail, which is
Okay.
a good one.
Okay. So I was kind of on target there.
They have a monthly, except for August, I believe.
But it would change, all the supervisors changing in December.
What the email said, and they
Huh.
advised me because you guys were getting off, so. Okay, well, we'll get to the bottom of it.
Okay, public input. No, I didn't see any payroll changes at all. You say there's not,
There is none.
okay. No payroll changes. Looks like Al, you're up. How you doing there?
I'll make this quick as I can. I intend to meet with all the candidates for the board, and to do that, I thought I needed to do some homework. What does the county spend now in terms of investment for tax base? I mean, do we still pay Louisa Development Group anything? That used to be about 6,000 a year. I don't know if that's still being.
Did we take, is that still in the?
I think it's still.
Yeah, I think it is too. I think it's 15,000.
I have to pull that up.
I'm thinking that's around 15.
15,000.
Yeah, pretty sure.
I'm not sure if we lowered that or not.
I don't know. As we talked so much money last.
One of them took a hit, and
Yeah.
I don't know if it was that one.
How many others like that are, is the county funding?
Well, we do Southeast Regional, but they write our grants and stuff.
But I'd say that would probably be a big one. And I sit on the board of that one for Southeast Regional Planning, because they're always looking to bring in.
Like that's not discretionary spending, that's stuff of the state, is that right?
Depends. It could be, depends what's out there for grants and what business opportunities are coming to our area. Stuff, because a lot of times they'll go through regional planning to bring in new businesses.
Have they ever done it?
Sure. Yeah, they took the old, one of the big ones was down there in an empty building down in Lee County. They put the forge back in, and yeah, sure, they've done. And that's a big one, that's employed quite a few people.
I'm talking about here, Elijah.
The prison industry houses that are going in Oakville, we're up to like 3 now. They're part of that.
That's Southeast Iowa Regional Planning.
Yes,
Yeah,
Other than them, then is there anybody else?
Besides local businesses doing it.
What,
What would be your suggestion?
pardon?
What would be your suggestion?
No, I'm here to
Oh.
learn.
Okay.
I was gonna ask what you guys would suggest to new board members.
To do. I would say get more involved in our task, our meetings that we're assigned to bring more stuff in. We can't help our county if we don't get involved with these groups to make our county better. And, you know, meet with the solar people, meet with people that want to develop at the trailer parks and stuff like that. Maybe have more contact with them, friendly contact, and look at opportunities. You know, we've worked with Tyson and brought more money to the county. Didn't work out for them, but we got to look at things that yeah, we got internets we got to bring in. We got water quality issues. We got stuff to before we can start building houses. We have to do things better on our planning and zoning for its ability to draw some stuff in. And there's just a lot of things we need to look at, but we need to pick one and finish it and then go to another one.
So does the Department of Health, and any governing body on putting in new septic systems in the country, and who is that?
It's environmental health, which is a part of public health.
Okay, and are they ever out looking for grants to see if there's something out there to help individuals build homes in the country?
They have,
I don't know.
there's all kinds of grants to county programs, like I reported last week, that will help. Like well plugging for old homesteads, well testing, well refurbishing. There's on-site. You can get the state to help finance a new septic system over the low interest loan.
We have tax incentives in place for people to build in the county.
No,
No, it probably, there's some in the towns,
Wampalo has one. I don't know about Plymouth.
Junction does too.
I was just curious.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's environmental health's job to promote new homes. That his job is
That's where you're like,
septic.
I think it's everybody,
Well,
every county's employee's responsibility. to
I
help with
understand.
tax base.
yeah. I understand.
That's all I've got. I just wanted some information.
The best thing we could probably do in this county is get ground back on the tax roll from FEMA properties and
Definitely help.
old right of ways and.
How many dollars do you think that is?
I have no idea.
especially on land, it'd be hard to put a accurate dollar.
Vicky was in here a month or so ago and
Well,
kinda
She give us,
put a number to it.
Is there around 30 acres of? Or 30,000 acres of land, are we talking? That the county owns or off a tax base?
Dotted all over the place.
Yeah.
it was 20 before the interstate. Years ago, but that's with the buyouts at Mud Bottom, you know, following the river corridor. Which is a darn near township.
We're
But
number
some
six.
of it we get just like $8 an acre from DNR.
What number 6?
Wow, 99 counties.
Well, the lake, we get almost $6,000 to maintain the roads out there.
But your idea for that is rent it out, so it's farmers, or so it's
Well-
pastures, or whatever.
Right,
Lease.
but then we have to pay taxes. On the rent, so it may not, you think it might be this, but then
You're just moving money from one pocket to the other.
You are.
But we're still getting the money.
You're getting.
Right, right.
You just haven't set a price per se, per acre or whatever, per lot. But that's still in the works.
There's a lot of restrictions. There's a lot that we can't do. I hear it all the time on FEMA. When we had all that land that they took back on the buyback program, that was the worst thing the county got into because it makes it where the landowners, we can't develop on it ever again. We can't sell it legally. We can
When you say
lease it
legally, what do you mean?
by federal law.
You can't sell none of that land.
No,
You'd think we could with a deed restriction or.
but we tried and we just gotta continue trying, but it's
Well,
a
you
failed
know,
system.
And this is. You have sold it before in the past,
No,
yes.
FEMA land?
No, that was Homeland
So why the
Security.
county board has,
FEMA land?
yes.
Not since I've been on.
Oh, no, not to.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the past, which I don't think they knew they couldn't.
Yeah.
And all this, but I think the past board has sold land.
Yeah. And we've had FEMA directors say that there is a way we can do it, and then they get shipped off somewhere else, and then we have to start over with the new one, so. And going out, I think that's the biggest thing is try to take our land that's right now, it's just sitting there dormant. Do something with it.
But how much of that is FEMA and how much of it would fall into? And I'm not trying to stretch this meeting out, guys.
No.
How much of that is FEMA and how much of it is environmental? And you take mud bottom, for instance, these are already turned into wetlands, and once they're in wetlands, that takes some act of Congress to change.
Yeah. We have a list here somewhere that has all of our properties.
The FEMA property, I can get it to you.
Yeah, we got, yes.
Yeah, that'd be
It's
fine.
It's a big book.
I just remember one time last thing, we had 41,000 acres not in tax base.
You're probably close. I know we're the number 6 with the federal, state and county, and FEMA lands and all that. We're number 6 out of 99 counties.
Is it?
You
I
got
shouldn't
the,
ask this question here, but I'm going to, since I've got everybody here. Is it legal for the county to set up a legal defense fund?
That'd be an attorney question. I don't think we could, but I'm not an attorney.
You know, someday.
They don't like any carryover money at all.
Someday when I've got a chance, I'll tell you why, I think that could be used.
Good questions.
I mean, we're curious where the money's gonna come from.
Well, guys, I'll just throw it out there. You know, we've got 2% of the population running this country today, and they've got the ear of all of the congressional representation. They did it by suing them. That's how they got their power. And I'm afraid that's what it'll take to undo that power, so.
Right.
Gentlemen, I've got a roll. I
Okay,
appreciate
thank you,
your
Al.
answer.
Yeah, thanks for coming in.
thanks for the questions.
Okay. Number 8.
Just so you know, there's probably gonna be some bids here that have, in addition to them. So deflectors on the roof vents, so some of the contractors felt that the vents were too large. And the water that's shooting off the roof, they wanted to put a deflector on it. So you may see that in some of the bids.
I'll start with you.
Oh boy, we got lots here. So it looks like there's 2 alternates. The base bid is $3,900 for T&K Roofing out of Eli, Iowa. And then the alternate is for new roof curbs. And alternate number 2 is seal the tops of panels. And those 2 alternates are $9,300 and $2,200. We're gonna have to read these pretty close, I think.
This is Irish Ridge Enterprises install new flashing around 6 units on jail roof. Caulk all ridge cap holes that are exposed, reseal around vent pipes. This includes all materials and labor. $4,688.
Well, we got two of them here, and Miles Construction out of Bloomfield, Iowa. And it's 8,700. And labor materials to reseal metal roof edges and corners, replace all pipe flashing, reseal and reflash all roof vents, reseal the entire roof cap, and fasten loose ridge cap. And that's from Miles Construction,
What was the total?
8,700.
Okay.
And then I have one with several pictures. But it sounds like it's from Hawkeye Flat Roof Solutions. And it's for 4,600, and the roof will be expertly repaired using combination of 360s urethane sealant, acclaimed FSG cracks, gaps, holes, and other imperfections, ensuring a long-lasting protection through preparation and affected area clean to create an optimal surface for other treatments. Advanced repair application, special blend of will be applied effectively. This will include doing all vent hoods, pipes, and ridge caps. And for 4,600. I thought we had an issue with our cap. It wasn't long enough.
So on the roof cap, there is one seam out of the whole roof cap that's caulked. I don't know why it's caulked, but it's caulked. But it's nowhere near the leak that's coming inside the hallway in detention. So that, I guess, should be resealed, but we gotta figure out, and there's no clear indication of where it's coming from. So there's some investigatory work that has to go into this. Now, the caulking around all the big vents, that's clearly coming apart. You can see it, it needs resealed. All the little rubber boots, they didn't look bad. They were cracked. We inspected all of them. They looked okay. But then there's another leak way over in another area in a cell, for the lack of a better word, that the leak's coming down the wall, and I can't see anything up on the roof. And the two contractors I was with didn't really see anything that would be causing it, but it's clearly leaking. Now, there are two precast joints from the Sally Port to the jail in the concrete wall that were never caulked. So I don't have very good words for whoever the general contractor was on that building, but they weren't watching. So.
And you can see one of the fan houses here has no saddle in front of it.
Yeah.
And there's a gap that far.
Yeah, and they just used a bunch of sealant.
Yeah.
To fix
Right.
it. And you get enough water sheeting, it's like little gutters with that standing seam roof,
Yeah.
all that water.
And where would it go?
Oh, yeah,
It just plows right into the,
yeah.
yeah,
If that don't leak, it's a matter of time.
yeah. I think someone probably needs to take the time and read all these bids and decipher that just because it's low doesn't mean it's included. And then maybe put it on the next agenda for approval. Would that be okay?
Yeah.
Which is the most responsible bid.
Yeah, right.
One
Not
bid
necessarily
has-
low bid.
Replace all flashing. So that's why they're high.
Yeah. And these got two alternates to it, and you may end up adding an alternate to it to get to where everybody else is at, so. I can do it. If you want to do it, doesn't matter to me,
It's up to you.
just so we can go through it. I'm pretty familiar with it, so.
Yep.
If you want me to go through them, I will, and
Yep. That
give you
sounds
my
good.
recommendation. All right. I'll do that. If you want to put it on the next agenda, we'll do approval then.
You got the envelopes for all things.
I'll just have one.
I'll make sure. There's Bill. Okay. Thank you. Okay. That's on next. Can I get a motion that we move that to the?
I'll
next-
make a motion, we table the bids and which one is the most responsible bids till next week.
I'll second that.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Move to next. Okay, so that one there's. Okay, do you have anything on that, Dan Harris?
I'll make a motion on it and then we'll discuss it.
Okay.
You'll say,
Second.
his term's up, he's been talked to by Randy and by Selena and wants to continue to do another term for the civil service board.
Any other discussion?
I haven't heard anything bad against it, so. Usually if it's something that's bad, they usually.
He's a very good member, so I will speak for him.
Yeah, I
on
know
that,
Danny.
so.
I think this will be his second term, if not more.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Good. You know, Brian Roger says he gets in here, we'll get going. Okay. Adam, you wanna go with your update? And sorry for your losses too.
Okay, thank you, Randy. What's going on? We've got a bunch of applications for permit. We'll figure Windstream is gonna do about a bunch of upgrades to their system, kind of north, mostly north of Grandview, 61. I reviewed them and I know we've had problems with Windstream in the past, but this seems like upgrading the existing services and not a lot of new stuff. One of the applications up on 190th is it shouldn't actually be on the list because that road is maintained by Muscatine County, so let's table that one. Actually,
So strike 18.
yeah, going up there. So they're gonna go ahead and apply through a Muscatine on that one. So just want to work through all these. Chris, which one is first on the agenda list?
It's X-43 and 170th Street.
43 and 43 and 170.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm out. This is the largest one, and again, it's just replacing what is already in the ditch with some new lines. I looked through it and I didn't see any issues with it, so. Can I get a motion to?
I'll move to approve Windstream's application for X-43 and 170.
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
Windstream still doesn't have a good name to me.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion.
Okay. Which was the next one?
It would be G40.
G40.
One, like, again, this is just replacing what's already in the ground, looks okay to me. Well,
I'll make a motion, we approve Windstream Communications application for lay cable on G40.
I'll second that.
Discussion?
A long way from the bridge.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. That is 18. Next one's X-43 and 160s.
43 and 60. Yes. This one goes down the dirt road there off the X-43, back to it. At J Avenue there. It's a little tricky, but again, their application looks okay to me, so.
I'm assuming they're boring all this.
They are direct burying where it's not under a culvert, and then when it goes under a culvert or a bridge, they
Boring.
bore underneath
Okay.
it, so.
And it's right at the edge of the road, basically.
This is, their current location is almost back along the right of way, so that they're just gonna follow that same path, so.
I'll make a motion to approve Windstream's application for X-43 and 160th Street.
Thank you. I'll second that. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Next one's 170. Motion passed. Where do you sign on this?
Oh, I'm sorry. And then one,
Keep notes.
You're fine.
next one is,
Okay, that would be 17.
Do you have anything to say about it, Adam, or, well, why is there three? 175th Street, 140th Street, 170th?
let me see that. There's stubs off of things, like, this one is east of L&M school there, so it's just little branches off of,
Okay.
off of the
Main
trunk, yeah,
Okay.
so.
Is this fiber cables or what are they?
This is fiber. Fiber replacing copper, I believe, is what it's.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve Windstream's application for construction on 175th Street, 140th Street, and 170th Street.
Second.
Okay, any more discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
And can I get a motion on 18 to withdraw it off of our that's in Muscatine County?
I'll make a motion to withdraw item number 18 from the agenda.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And number 19 is replace poles.
REC, yeah, that's, RECs are replacing both on next. 37 minutes. Fine with me, I have no problems with that.
And it's just the poles are worn.
Okay, I'll make the motion to approve Eastern Iowa Light and Power's application to replace poles along X-37.
Second.
Any more discussion? Not all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed.
They better get that pole replaced out there in front of Dollar
I've
Market.
seen that really lean.
Holy moly.
What, in town here?
Yeah,
Did you see how bad that pole's leaning?
it's,
No, I missed it, yes, I did.
Once you see it,
I-
you can't not see it.
I get distracted by all the landscaping that isn't done and. the
Well, they're
backfill
cleaning
and all
it
that.
out this morning.
What?
They're cleaning it this morning.
Actually cleaning it.
I know, right?
Big news here for Wawa, so. So,
what else you got?
thanks for that. Maintenance work, we are doing, shoulder edging up on, G62 between the Morning Sun and turn off west. Out to the second gravel road out there. Doing that this week. Gonna do a little Lux 37. And south of Morning Sun. And then after we're done with that, we're gonna go, along the L&M school road, getting some of our edge patched up. It's a thing that, we always, admittedly, we don't get as much done as I would like to on that. It's just a matter of time and all that, so. But when you have 150 miles of road and you've got our pavements, we got 300 miles of shoulder, and it takes a while to get it done, so. Doing that, and then after that project's done, we're gonna go back to doing some patching, we have some patching, north of the Grandview, a little bit more on the bypass. We've got some other, few more spots to do, which will keep us busy through the end of September into October. I've got some, had some more complaints up on that 92 area. We were able to get the DOT approved to re-spray, dust control, everything north of 92. And now the focus is south of 92, around the quarry road and things like that. I asked the DOT about two weeks ago about getting that okay to get sprayed with dust control, and their response was, well, the paving was supposed to begin. Well, we're about 2 weeks behind that. The paving has not begun. Mike and Justin went to that meeting last Tuesday, and sounds like beginning of October or so they'll begin paving, hopefully. So if it begins beginning of October and we have more rain, more cold in October, it could be beginning of November before it's all done. So working on that with the DOT, hopefully get that dust control approved. I know we've got some issues with rock shoulders on X17 north of 92, and they have said that they are going to replace that or repair that rock and all that, but again, it's waiting on the paving on 92. So not optimal, but we don't force them to do so much. So 61 work, the meeting they're supposed to have today is canceled because they just don't really have a lot that affects our roads at the time. So they're working on those abutments for the ramp there. I'm sure you saw we posted. I don't believe I sent you guys a message at the public meeting for the bypass is October 1st from 5 until 7 at the Briggs. I'm sure I invite everybody to go in and attend that. The gist of it is that we ended up getting the second interchange south of Buffalo, and that's a good thing. I believe there's going to be some comments on access because we, through this process, we've lost a couple accesses to the road. I would suggest anybody has, comments, they can go and maybe not make those comments. And of course, we can always do what we did last time and kind of amalgamate all the comments and send it to them. And hopefully there's some, some improvements that are made. Anyway, it's difficult when you're negotiating with a larger government and they have all the impetus, right? They make the plans and you have to argue for things. It's not like where we're at now is where we chose to be, but you know what I'm saying? That
I think they walked us through, we've been to 2 or 3 meetings in the last 6 months that they kind of brought things.
3 or 4 years, yeah.
Yeah, but just recently, so I think the changes we have had input on it, so I feel pretty good on.
Yeah.
Unless they change something totally different than what they was talking.
I feel better getting that second access, right?
I do too.
But it took a lot of effort to get what we should have had in the first place. So
It was worth a fight.
so I invite everybody to attend, and if you have comments, let's make them,
And I think that Woodland Trailer Court Road is very valuable to the growth of the county. also.
I think it provides another area with paved road access, it's gonna be fairly close to the highway that if. You know, a contractor or a trucking interest or something like that could definitely develop there and
Truck stops.
and have access to the highway, so. Other than that, the county, I applied for a Iowa Living Roads Trust grant to buy a spraying apparatus for a truck. We did get approved on that, so next week I'll have a resolution that authorizes me to accept that grant.
It's a full amount, right?
Well, it's $15,000 out of $18,000.
Okay, so it's pretty.
So we don't have to spend it until next December, so next fiscal year, I'm gonna include that truck that we've been talking about. And kind of package it up then and do all that. And yeah, it might cost a little bit more then, but it just works better with our spending, so. So, other than that, I don't know a lot else, any questions?
You got a flagman north of Wapple in the washouts, you know what's going on up there?
Oh, that's DOT, I assume they're either repairing something or doing a surveyors or something, so.
Working on joints.
Okay.
Adam, will you be picking up any political signs that are on county property? The state was out on 78 yesterday and they picked everything up from 218 to Newport. And the reason I ask is if you do pick them up, will you have them available to be picked up at the county shed or someplace or not?
Yeah,
You mess with that.
I know that we've got a couple kind of at the far extent.
I'm not complaining, I'm just
Yeah,
wanting to know if you'll get them if you do pick them up.
We've got a couple at the far extent of the right of way. You know, if it gets to be a problem, we will police them and we will, I will, the best I can, contact the candidates and say, hey, you are not supposed to be on here. I only know one is kind of not a big issue now, but if it becomes one. Funny
They had
thing
a
is,
truckload yesterday, so.
okay, funny thing is, a couple weeks ago, we out kind of east of here, there's a whole bunch of internet signs. Some internet advertiser came in and put up 100 signs or so we've been ripping them out. One of our employees did call the number, and I guess it's a deal where somebody gets paid to put them out and a contract, and they just put them out there. So we've got a pile of those. And you know, and there's the occasional, you know, realtor who gets a little carried away with some signs and things like that.
It's not a complaint, it's just to know if we can pick them up if you do pick them up.
Yeah, it's just an opportunity for me to talk about it, I guess. Yeah, so. Yeah, so
Since I created.
yeah, so. Was there another question out there?
Just to let you know, we already have the agenda. I wanted to make sure we talked about it last week.
Yeah. All right, well.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thanks, Adam.
Brian, you're up.
You need a check first.
Well, no, I need I sent this to the surveyors that they didn't have the building setbacks, and they did send me, or you did, one with the building setbacks on it.
Yeah, I think I've got it.
But now Tammy called me or emailed me yesterday, and I talked to her this morning. The utility easement notation, is that on the big one? Because I couldn't find it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll see you next time, Dave.
That's just the easement there. You know what, before Ryan? This is
a brand new guy that surveys for it.
Yes, he didn't leave a lot of space.
He didn't. Yeah, he didn't.
I'm thinking you guys can still pass the subdivision, but Selena might have to bring this over for you guys to sign the final plat and get the easement.
Are we talking about utilities and stuff on there? I'm okay with doing it that way. Yeah,
Okay, so just to give you an idea of where it's at. You know where Tri-Oaks.
I got a picture of those, Brian, you got it,
You do?
you got it now.
I don't, I just brought the one, but right here's where you would turn down to go to. Tri-Oaks, research farm back in the day.
Yeah.
So this is up on top of the hill, then it drops down. Yeah. So what we did basically was there's a house here and a house here. We want 2 acres out here for this house. This house is already subdivided off and then the rest of the ground will stay. No, if you look at mine, you can kind of tell it over the flag.
Square off this, 2 acres go down just a little bit more, so it's just gonna.
Okay.
See how it goes down?
Yeah.
Cause that didn't have 2 acres.
Right,
So
it's too thin.
They're gonna
split
get
it for 2
this
acres,
piece
so it's
right
1, 2,
here.
3. And that's the reason that we're going to a subdivision.
So
Right.
this is where-
And I believe the guy right there.
Yeah, I'm not real familiar with property itself, and it's the family, Calvin's family.
That's a real steep hillside.
Real steep hillside, and it's,
Family, yeah.
And the county owns down here.
Right, that's
Yeah.
part of the slough.
Yeah, yeah. The other thing on the plat is there is an easement through the new proposed new subdivision right here. That kind of winds through and you can see it there on there. We're trying to get the county already has an easement on the east 25 feet of this property of Trend or Tri-Oaks. And gets them back to here. And so we've had oral agreement, but there's not a written one yet to utilize that easement to get to this parcel. That's gonna remain.
And who's gonna do that?
I will take care of doing that, but there is an easement, if that falls through, you can see on the plat, there is an easement. That kind of meanders through it,
right.
that will get somebody there, that's on the recorded plat.
Or an ingress, egress.
Yes, yeah, you can see it right there,
Right.
it's that right there, yeah, this will be on the plat,
Yeah,
worst case scenario.
we've seen how things go
But-
south.
If you can see on this one, you'll see that's the county's conservation board's easement that goes clear on down. And so we're looking to extend this right to here.
Sounds good.
That at least gets them access there.
I don't even know. Could you get a little smaller paper, stamp something there? I think where I'm gonna stamp.
Well, we can't stamp this one because we don't have the utility.
I think he wants the utilities.
He's gonna bring this back, we'll give it to Selena, Selena will bring it over.
So we really can't approve.
Well, you can, but you can get everything else signed that he has.
If you want to approve the resolution, subject to us doing the revised plat, then I'll bring that over to.
Yep, we can do that.
And we'll get that and have her stamp that before we record that.
You got that one?
So like, no. I'll make a motion here to approve the Cutley subdivision with the approved revised easement for utilities.
Second. Any more discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Then we'll do rewrite. And then we'll find it.
Good, yeah, I don't need that back.
All right.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Approved, thank you.
Anything else? No, guys want to do my one white hat. So unless you can, I'm gonna keep on. He's going, this one.
You
You guys ready?
Thanks, gentlemen.
Take care, thank you.
Hi, Adam, how are you?
Yeah, let's get it running and then we'll do fall and then.
Have we gotten any further on our propane tank repairs?
You know what? I never heard from Justin. I called him at the meeting there and he was gonna get some people in here, but I haven't followed up on him.
Squeaky door.
I think I called him during the. Oh,
Yeah.
I did,
Right.
but I haven't heard back on him. I talked to,
Bug him again so I can get that thing painted.
Yeah. I'll see where he's at. They're back.
Oh, that's not right.
I texted him. Never heard an answer. Okay. So we'll put him for next week, please. Morning, Paul.
Good morning.
So. What do we got going on here? I talked just a little bit ago, we have, is it due to a contract, is that all it is?
Yeah, just renewing the contract.
You have a contract?
Yeah, I sent one to, Selena had called me last week asking for an updated contract and I sent it to her.
Do you know why this was brought up, or just normally this is the time to do the contract, or? You know,
What Selena told me was that she had just been going through. Any entity they have contracts with to see if they're up to date. In place,
okay,
and so she had called me and said she didn't have an updated one, so for. A contract that and it's just like we've done before.
Same rate, same everything.
and what is that rate?
It's 1666 a month. So originally, I think maybe 15 years ago. I think the county, which equates to $20,000 a year. When you originally hired me, I think you were paying me 30. And that was to do human resources, meet with department heads monthly, and do union negotiation. And then a few years after that, Chris called me and asked me to cut the rate from 30 to 20. But that I would no longer come back monthly to meet with department heads. And so the new one puts that back in place, but it keeps the rate still at that lower rate. So the services will match what it was originally at the 30. The difference here is it does add me coming monthly and still doing union negotiations. It's the same rate it has been for years, but with the additional promise to come monthly to meet with the department and team.
The 1-year contract,
Correct.
and that would be effective. October 1st or whatever. Today, okay.
I'll make a motion that we sign Paul Groof's yearly contract.
Second,
Any discussion? All in favor?
aye.
Passed. Thanks for doing that, Paul. Okay,
That concludes our meeting.
I think there's
Brian?
no other business.
Brian's not coming.
No, he's not here.
Yeah, she said we're gonna move it to next week.
All right. Thank you, I didn't hear.
Unless he shows up.
Yeah,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
meeting adjourned. Thanks all.
Thank you.
Okay, Jim, here's the, see the.
We got
Go to supervisor forums.
union negotiation
Yeah.
coming up.
Next.
And yeah, so probably
Yeah, no, I want
the
to.
union will vote
Oh, I know.
end of October. So typically I want to meet with the board at any point. You want to just talk about. So I don't know if you want to pick an agenda date for it now, or I don't know what your schedule looks like, you know, just to get together, review the contract, see if there's any changes we need to make.
I know I've got two.
There'll be signs.
More than likely, the union won't start until, so they have to vote if they're gonna keep the union. And that vote will be held at the end of October.
Yeah.
Typically, that's.
People we don't have.
I agree, they'll stay.
Put together the.
So if we want to get our ducks in a row now, or it can wait a week or two. Really.
What if we would meet like the middle of November, then we'd maybe know who the.
Put that on.
new board is and then have them sit in on it.
Yeah, I think that's great, if you guys are open to that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Then we know what they're, what they're asking for.
we've run into so much, open up the negotiation till March and negotiation. So the 29th, we always kind of had our thumb on. You either take what we offer, we always try to meet them halfway.